Hello, hello. Welcome back. We are diving into SCPs again. I have tried to put on all of the redeems back again. We should be good to go. Alright. Nope. Yes. Okay. So, we are reading the 4th chapter of the big oopy spoopy Rounderhouse's bone proposal. There are 5 chapters in total, and by the time we get to chapter 5, it will be, simply put, a lot. I will be making a concerted effort to make sure someone like NURIAKEA, or more likely do, can join us for the 5th. I keep forgetting. I gotta bug you, do, if you're hearing it next week. I'm hoping that you can be there for the end of when we read it, but I don't want to make it too difficult for you to join, because, yeah, we want to make sure that we know what the heck is going on with it, because apparently there's going to be a bunch. Du has told us there's going to be a bunch all culminating and, like, all the references coming together, and so I want to know what we're doing, what we're talking about, you know? This was not originally planned. It was not on this schedule, but we are here. I wanted to make sure we get more read and more sorted, because these are beefy chapters, and I decided that I would do a slightly shorter, Cozy Grove stream, but there wasn't much. No, you're not the mod now. I keep forgetting my things that I'm meaning to say. Well, I'm gonna put up the trigger warning in the title in a minute. Sometimes if you do this too soon, things will bonk you on YouTube's. But we know that the story is got a lot going on that you need to be prepared for. Oh, I can make sure that it's emotes only though. Okay. My brain keeps distracting myself. Thank you, Fed, for being on top of them while I'm trying to remember my brain. Ah, yes. Okay. So, the next installment, we are meeting another new person. How I want to tiptoe, because I don't want to say it just yet. We have some spooky stuff. Okay. 5 minutes. I'll go ahead and, actually, if Fedster can be on the clock for that while I'm trying to remember other things would be super helpful. If he can. Thank you, Fed. My little nervousness is I'm trying not to say all the concerning words at the front. If you pay attention, I try and keep it cleaner at the start of streams, specifically because it's harder to bonk me. But the story says some spooky things at its core. It's genetic memory stuff from what you eat, and anomalous folks in this little tribe, and I do say little because they have dwindled away a lot. The leader, the Grand Karcist, has lost her memories of when he, because pronouns are he and her, forgot the past life, basically. Just like earlier beginnings, how everything began. And it was a bit chaotic, but we're getting a little bit more suspicious that don't abuse the whispers. We're getting more suspicious about how Ian, the Grand Karcist ex-leader, did you forget what was going on and all the things that they chose to do. So, we'll go ahead and say Um, there's a good deal of violence. There's cannibalism. We're gonna put that trigger warning up now. And I'm very nervous that the other things that they're gonna tie in is gonna be just extra violence, extra twisty twists. It's not quite there, but we are at the second last chapter, so it could be getting there. We've met other people in the tribe, and they're getting suspicious. These are people that are living typical lifespans, not this I never die person. So they are completely unaware of the past, but we have also these anthropologists with the SCP, and they're messed up. They're not doing their jobs. And then there's a robot that is doing the anthropologist job. Somehow has the most humanity of them all. Oh, don't we love that trope? But the way that they have been concerning on the SCP Foundation team, I'm certain we're gonna have a couple things drop, like, oh, this is what's been going on, kind of thing, and it's gonna break our hearts. I just feel it. These people in the tribe have been getting interviews that are so wholesome and beautiful, and you might want to judge, and fair enough, about the way that they connect the genetic memory stuff, especially. But they do it from a very, like, loving, respectful, ceremonial thing, and there's a reason they do it and all that. And so it's really cool to listen to their interviews, like, what does it mean being Sarkic? That's what they're called. It means all these lovely, beautiful, poetic things. Oh, in the meanwhile, the other stuff is going on. We had our leader, lady, dude, decide to allow the Foundation to help find these different things, and then they started off on an adventure. They had found this one grave. This gave them a lot of information, including a bunch of stuff that really just the SCP folks could read, and it gave them the push to remember things. We went inside of a body into a memory of the city that we're supposed to be trying to find. This is the city that the Foundation wants to find because it's supposed to be super powerful and super cool. And the only reason that they've bothered to keep doing this stuff is because of that. We really are nervous what they're going to do when they actually get it. But we got to the one grave. They said, go to the next grave. We did that. That grave was like, you suck, actually. You were really awful. You don't even remember how awful. You were awful. You did all the things you said you shouldn't do. And then in those deciphering the text, we're finding out, yeah, they kind of were awful. They sound not at all like they're supposed to sound. I don't like this. Then we got to the next grave, this last chapter, and it was really heartbreaking, and it confirmed 100% the theory of, yeah, everything's bad, and it's kind of all entirely your fault. Yeah, sorry, bud, you know. And so that's where we landed, but we marched on again because we're not done there. We got to keep moving. Got to get to the next grave, get more information, and figure it all out. Thank you, Frigid, for all of those. Let's do those stretch. Oh, your emotes are free. So I'm glad I finished that just in time. When we jump in, we're obviously going to head to the next grave with this. We're going to read more the texts that sound suspicious. We're going to have our robot leading a lot of the anthropologist work, because of course. And we're going to worry about all the stuff. I didn't do it because I was trying to think, Toast. I'm not there. I'm about to do it. I said we're going to do our stretches and things. We're going to do all of those. I thought I would do the whispers as we jump in. But let's get some stretch. Ooh. I so hydrate. This is for everybody. Everybody should stretch and hydrate. Okay. And now I will do our whispers. Oh, and nobody shrimp either. Get your posture checked. Long is the supreme ruler. Frigid is stinky. So we know Toast is on the bonk side now. Okay, there was our whispers. We're gonna dive in. Every time my smoke goes, I feel like wah, 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 wah. Sound effects. Anyway, okay. It is chapter 4, The Vault of Lovjatar. They've had different typings of this. I don't know how it's supposed to be spelled. I don't know what the name is supposed to be for sure, but we're gonna say it's Lovjatar. We're gonna go with that. Okay. We have once again a quote from one of those writings. Temptation does not make itself known. Temptation clothes itself in the skin of good intention, beckoning those most faithful, guiding them forward. The tempted do not realize they are aflame until the fires eat through their flesh. You must be wary for it always. This is the second truth of Ian, and it's very ironic because I think that's exactly what happened to Ian. Felt temptation to do all the things that was trying to not have their people experience, and oop, yep. All right. Section 001.5, The Path of the Bone. This is another record of Yun now. And as the Nalka, a group that is the original, the Sarkites, the Sarkic people, are like an offshoot of the Nalka. Nalka is like the first in the old history one. As the Nalka raged for 5 days against the old masters, rousting them from the city until the canals of the nameless city ran rich with blood, Iyun, the scarred prophet, knelt in the deepest tunnels of Adatum, our magic city, before the flesh of the fell god, the same god that he had supped from and whose blood filled his veins now. It was vast. Tendrils stretched all across the city, reaching desperately out to where the slaves had unearthed it from its tomb. Ooh, I just realized I have a theory. I don't want to say it. Anyway, okay. Far beneath the earth, far removed from the sounds of battle, the Devourer spoke to Ian. This is not a city. You see this now. In the tunnels and in the carvings. This place was never meant for the living to inhabit. This is a tomb, a mausoleum meant to hold me. The Scarlet is a jealous god, and he has instructed his children to bind me here, far from the eyes of the living. They fear me. They fear you, too. The wall poured with its lifeblood, with its power. Ian held only a torch, casting a flickering glow on the vast beast. You have found me here. This is in quotes. I don't know which one is saying this. The beast? Like the dead, the devourer god that's supposed to be dead? Anyway. You have found me here, where they seek to steal me away. You sense my power as I sensed yours. Feed me as I have fed you. Become as one. Your masters will bow to you. All will bow. Your people will become unstoppable with you at their head, their shepherd, their lord. I guess this would be the temptation right here. The beast reached out to the slave, Ian, offering him a tendril. I see the fear inside of you, terror of death, of what will happen to your fledgling nation on your death. I bring immortality as my prophet. Ian saw the strength of the flesh. He looked into the fires of the torch, and he saw the future. Him at the head of a vast Halkus, that's the army, the undead army, undying, his clavigars at his side. Obedient to the wishes of his master, he rose, grasping the tendril. He felt the blood slipping between his fingers. And then, I'm guessing it's Ian that says this, I have been enslaved once. I will not become one again. He raised his knife and cut through the tendril, leaving it wriggling. The devourer screeched. I will bind you here, hold you as the masters held you. You will not make us your slaves. And Iyun cast the torch into the flesh, retreating together to gather his strength. But even as he stepped back, the first seeds of doubt had taken root. Ooh. The record of Iyun, that says. Spoopy. Alright, now we have the Path of the Black Atom Initiative. They formatted this a little bit funky. This should be popping up ahead of everything, but this one thing pops up instead. Just as I had thought before, we see the route number 3, and it goes all the way up a little bit out of where I thought it would be. But we have the different locations where we started, the Sarkic tribal territory, that's grave number 1 as well. That was Nadok. Then, second, there's the Reliquary of Sa'arn. That's the grave of Sa'arn. Snake buddy that didn't like us. Then we have 3, Ossuary of Uruk. That would be the mass grave place where it was just bones that looked like they were, rocks. But it's bones. And then we are going to be heading to 4, but we don't get to see that. I don't know when we would see that on the map, but I don't know. In between each, we get a little dotted line. 1 to 2 was a slight bit north, but mostly going east. And there was like a dip down and then up. This time, 2 to 3, it's almost a straight line north, just a slight bit east. But the way we get there is a big squiggly S. So we go east, north, and almost double back, and then still a little east again. Quite north, so. Hello, Kate. Oh, did I do proper hellos? Hello, Frigid. Hello, Toast. Hello, Fett. Hello, Honk. And then our buddies that snuck in and haven't been saying much. Hi, Zombie. Hi, Night Sky. Hey, Rada. Welcomes in, everybody. What is that? Oh. Okay. We have a little bit of blurb. By February 7th, the Black Atom Initiative had departed from the burial site of Sa'arn and were moving towards the next location indicated by the Grand Karcist Iyun from her memories, identified as being within Hulun Buir Prefecture in China. During the journey, the Grand Karcist submitted to regular interviews conducted by Foundation personnel regarding her memories. Now we'll have a little memory thing. It's a memory from Grand Karcist Iyun, recorded and transcribed by Xenophon.aic, that's our robot, and senior researcher Mile. So all of this is from Iyun, her perspective. The Deva had used their magic on Uruk, making her into one of the massive earth-moving slaves. Uruk was described with the big upper body, not so much the lower body, but it's basically, she came out to be like a giant gorilla kind of shape, the way her arms are long and she would rest on her fists. Big lady. They took her as a youth, subjecting her to their alchemies and spells, bracing her body with cuttings from their great tree beasts. She grew to a huge size, even among her fellows, and soon they put her to work. In our cohort, she grabbed rocks and tossed them away, excavating more land to build upon. But she was in pain constantly from the cuttings inside her, growing and malforming her. Okay, so not very gorilla in essence, but just kind of the way she has her posture. She's more tree. That's wild. I could not take her back to what she was, not without killing her, but I could remove the pain. I let her lift me up to her lips, sawing off a weight of my flesh, and letting her dine on it. Can you imagine constant agony for as long as you can remember, accompanying every motion and movement, and then one day it is simply gone? She looked at me like I was a god. She trusted me totally after that. Put her life in my hands. And then it says she stares out into space. So Ian stares for a moment. And I took advantage of her. I remember it now. Adytum was only so big. Our numbers began to swell and we needed space. Land for our people to till, for our beasts to graze, to grow our families. The villages simply had the misfortune to be near us. It began with the outlying farming villages of the old masters. They still hated us. I told Uruk that we needed to be sure that we would not be enslaved again. To take their lands for our own, expel them. It was just cause. But the need did not go away. It simply expanded. Even as the villages stopped being those of the old masters, even as they were simply people trying to live like us. I told her to take them, and she believed me. I believed myself. So now she is admitting that she grew greedy and tempted, and she went against her own teachings. We grew fat on the blood she spilled in our name, in my name. I let myself be corrupted. That was the betrayal I see now. My clavigars, my Nalka, they entrusted me to steal away the old beast, and instead I let it pervert me, fill my heart with a lust for power, to steal my mind from me and lose my people. When you sup on the flesh of a god, your hunger is never sated. It just grows and grows. And that's the end of that memory. On February 19th, 052 ordered increased security for the Black Adytum Initiative following the revelations regarding the Grand Karsus relationship with the Old Beast. Additional security personnel were assigned along with a permanent aerial escort. Meanwhile, and we established this with the red bubble, green bubble, because all of this is in the format of we are reading this text, and Xenophon AIC is reading this with someone, and they're having like text chat back and forth, like, do you remember this? No, I don't remember that. It's clear that there were some pieces that Xenophon never knew about and never would have known about, including, or really just the Delta Zero team that is following them the whole time. Okay, now we have an addendum. Let's see. Attached document, February 2042, begin log. What done happened here? The party had stopped for their midday meal. A heavy drone floats overhead, buzzing of the rotors distantly audible. Xenophon approaches Iyun. She is sitting by one of the covered wagons. A few of the children encircled around her. Hello, Flinno. Welcome in. Ian, she is sitting by one of the covered wagons. A few of the children circled around her. She is locked in intense concentration with the young girl directly in front of her, engaged in some kind of game. She outstretches her hand and pulls it back, as the girl does the same, trying to match her movements. At some point, the girl's movement falters and she groans, all the children collapsing into laughter. Ian notices the children's gaze focus behind her and turns to see Xenophon. The children quiet down, but do not move away. Pretty much only Ian likes this robot, but they're getting less stressed about it. Sometimes. Ian. Hello, Xenophon. Come. They say in the brackets, so I don't know what language, but it's different from what they're about to be in a little bit. Xenophon continuing, I'd hate to interrupt. Ian. Nonsense. Turning to the children. This is my friend, Xenophon. Xenophon. Make room for him. She pats the ground next to her. Xenophon approaches, lowering itself into a sitting position across from the children. A few openly peer at its titanium and carbon fiber shell, inching slightly closer. Ian begins clapping hands with the girl again. There, wait, Chris, you thought. I'm glad you had a nice chat. Not chat, a nice meal. My brain. I get distracted at one point, and then I don't come back to where I was reading very easy. Right, we're gonna start the clapping game again. But Xenophon says, "What are you doing?" In a different language now. English, Chinese, I don't know. Ian. Oh, just a game. Xenophon. Why? Ian. She shrugs, not missing a beat with the girl. Because it is something to do. Because it makes the children happy. Because it is fun. Take your pick. Xenophon stares at the flurry of hands for several seconds. Then, how do you play? Ian, come. She shifts to the side, allowing it a better view. There is a small bone-carved trinket placed between her and the girl. The game is for two, taking turns. I place this in the center, then I move. If the charm is there, I touch it with an open palm. If it is not, I touch it with a closed fist. Then, Io? E-U-O, I'm guessing. Io takes her turn. Oh my gosh. Takes her turn. Nice snack. Sounds like it was yummy. We got our corn cob ribs here. Alright. Okay, so then Ian, she reaches out, tapping the charm. The girl, Io. No. Io? We're gonna say Io. Quickly does the same. Xenophon. How do you win? Ian, smiling. Watch. The next turn, Ian plucks the trinket away with her hand motion, and Io's closed fist meets the ground. They rapidly exchange turns in rapid concentration until a minute or so. Ian's movement falters and her open palm meets empty air. Io cheers as Ian smiles. And then Ian says in the one language, "Well done, little thing," clearly to Io. Xenophon says, "You win by the other person making a mistake." I see. Ian, in the pigeon language now, would you like to play? Xenophon raises the hand of its shell, flexing the metal fingers. They catch the sunlight. And then Xenophon says in not the pigeon language, "I cannot make mistakes. It would not be of much enjoyment for us." Ian says in pigeon, "You'll go, show your parents." The girl scampers off in the direction of the other wagons. The other children remain around Ian, now openly inspecting him. Xenophon saying, "I can't make mistakes, but you were not trained to play this game. I get the feeling you have the ability to fuck up." I do believe it. It's easy to eat without getting stuck in your stomach. Yeah. How am I doing? I don't know you. That's my purse. I like that little quote. The girl has scampered off in the direction of the other wagons. The other children remain around Ian, now openly inspecting him. Xenophon? Ian. Xenophon, I saw you hold back a movement. You allowed the girl to win. Ian. Yes. Xenophon. Why? Ian smiles, stroking the hair of another of the children as he leans his head on her thighs. Ian, they are young. These small victories embolden children. They learn they can do anything. Xenophon, you don't feel that that's a dangerous idea to give them? What the? I don't know what's going on, but maybe you should slow down, Frigid. I don't know what's going on. They can learn, they can do anything. Don't you feel that's dangerous idea to give them? Ian, it makes them a more daring, adventurous. They learn their real limits by themselves. And her name is Yuo. Xenophon, I'm sorry? Ian, you called her the girl. Her name is Yuo. Yuo. Names have importance, Xenophon. Xenophon, what does Yuo mean? Ian, flower. Xenophon, I see. I tend to address people by their rank or title, as with you, but she is a child, so... Yuo. Ian, you mean you were created as such? Xenophon, no, that trait was not programmed in. It is a learned behavior, developed over time, an arbitrary preference. Ian cocks her head at him for a moment before nodding. The children around Xenophon grow bolder, pinging fingernails off his shell, so they're tippy-tapping. Xenophon, hello, in one of the languages. They do not respond, whispering to one another in hushed tones. And then, am I bothering them? Ian, the opposite. They are trying to tell where the seams of your armor are. Xenophon, I am not wearing armor. One of the boys looks up. Boy, skin? Xenophon, no. It is a hard lattice shell of carbon fiber over a titanium insert, providing structure, and then he stops himself as the boy's eyes furrow, and he just says, yes, it is my skin. It is effectively your skin. It's your equivalent of skin. Just say yes. Ian snorts. Go back to your parents, little things. They groan but scamper away, leaving Ian and Xenophon sitting alone. Almost as soon as they depart, Ian's posture visibly slumps, and she sighs. Xenophon, they do not seem afraid of me anymore. Ian, you intrigue them. They struggle to understand broad ideas, but they see you and they are curious. I suppose seeing us speaking calmed their fears. Xenophon, you are good with children. Ian, I like them. Xenophon, are you all right? Ian, no. Is it apparent? Xenophon, not to them. I simply notice more. No, buddy, I think it's that she was putting on a show while they were there, and when they were not there, she visibly slumped. Anyway, okay. I simply noticed more. Did something happen? Ian, no, I am just afraid. The revelations from Uruk have disturbed me, shaken me. Xenophon, I see. Can I help? Ian, you could listen. Xenophon, I have been told I am good at it. She chuckles for a moment before her face falls again. Ian, I see the children, and all I can think about are the children from Adatum. I failed them. Betrayed them. Xenophon, you were corrupted. Ian, still, I had a duty to hold back the Devourer's influence so my people could live in peace, and instead I became its prophet. A tyrant and a slave to the divine again. Xenophon, we have experience in such matters. The influence of a god is pervasive and powerful. It is silent for a moment. My organization has lost good people to such influences before. Ian, in truth? Xenophon, yes. She purses her lips. Still, I was the only person who could do it, and I failed. I do not understand why they are like this. Impossibly powerful, and we are pulled into their machinations. Xenophon, absolute power corrupts absolutely. Ian says, wise. Xenophon says, Lord Acton, an English preacher, wrote that. Ian, is he alive? Xenophon, no, he died 143 years ago. Ian smiles lopsidedly. It seems I'm not the only one who speaks to the dead. They are silent for a few minutes. Xenophon, did you want to hold back to the old beast? Ian, does it matter? Xenophon, I would like to know. Ian, no, I did not. I remember in the first days telling myself that I would depart as soon as I was able. For the first time in my life, my future was unbound. I wanted to walk the earth and find myself at the ends of it. Xenophon, did you ever get to? Ian, no. Xenophon, well, we are doing quite a bit of walking lately. Perhaps this is your chance. Ian only heavily sighs in response. Xenophon twitches, raising its hand slightly and then lowering it again. Ian, what was that? Xenophon, nothing. Ian cocks her head but returns to silence. And then she says, I do not think I have ever been without expectation. Xenophon, how do you mean? Ian, my earliest memory is being pulled from the pens as soon as I was able to lift a pick. Put to work for the old masters. Expected to slave all day if I wanted to earn my bread and water just the same as all the others. I cannot find the words to capture the misery of vast slave pens, of the priestesses burning their herbs to keep us pliable and weak, of the slave masters cutting off the fingers of anyone who fell behind on their labor. And then I uncovered the old beast and tasted divinity, and I was expected to lead my people on this crusade. I was a child, you know. The records do not say that. Some 15 or 16 passings of the seasons, a child. Xenophon, I am surprised you did it. She raises a hand, pointing at Yuo and her brothers, who are now surrounding their mother and picking at the hem of her dress as she hand washes their laundry. For them, Ian says. Xenophon, they were not alive then. Ian, but they are now. I have seen generations of our people grow and die, innocent children turning into jaded souls, bearing innocent children again. Look at them. They do not have to worry about what our people did with me at our helm. They are clean. They are why I did it. With every passing of the torch, we grow ever closer to shaking off the yoke of our past. Xenophon, except for you. She shrugs. Someone has to suffer for it. Xenophon, to hold back the beast so the others can live happily. Ian's face darkens. Xenophon, I don't mean to fault you. Humans have an evolutionary incentive to sacrifice themselves for their children, to ensure the tribe survives. You cannot help it. Ian, it is still a choice I made. Xenophon, your genes did not offer you any other option. She squints at Xenophon. Why are you here? Xenophon, to aid in research. She shakes her head, poking its chest with a finger. Ian, why did you walk to me? Did your master instruct you to? Xenophon, no, I felt it would be prudent to speak to you. Ian, you chose. And yet your instructions are in tune with your choice. Either we both are masters of our fate, or neither of us are. Xenophon is silent. And then, we need to begin moving again soon. Ian, I did not mean to upset you. Xenophon rises to its feet. It reaches a hand out to Ian to help her up. You could not upset me if you tried, Grand Carcist. I don't know, that felt a little bit like a upset. Felt a little bit, and that hand going up and then going back down. Did that feel... That felt like a mistake, like you weren't sure what to do. Anyways, that's the end of that log. We're gonna get another interview. As the interviews progressed, substantially more Sarkites began to volunteer to speak with Xenophon.aic on their relationship with the tribe. Aha! They're getting more chill. There's a still from Xenophon.aic's camera feed. He hasn't learned this horse's name, but he knows the person's name. There's Loik, who looks to be small, but it looks to be he is riding his horse, or they are riding their horse. There's one side of a little, like, it's not really even a creek exactly. Maybe a bit of a creek. A bit of water around. I think what happened is that this is normally a lake, but it, like, low tide, and this is sandy, and there's a big, oh gosh, what's the word for it? You know, there's a bit of sand in between this part of water and that part of water. But there's a grassy side, then there's the sandy stuff. And Loik is looking out over that, sitting on the horse. Loik 0.8 something, horse 0.892? I don't know. Horse is tan with white socks and white patches, and then there's some dark brown to black hairs. Hates them. Then there's Loik. Doesn't seem to have much of a saddle. It looks like blue jeans and a red coat. No hat. In the far distance, we get some mountains, and it's a cloudy day, but it's nice. Okay, what does being Sarkic mean to you? Number 89, Loik, 7, just a kid, child. It's a big kid, or is that a pony? I don't know. He beams up at Xenophon and Yun. Father is dead. He died before my first hunt. Mother told me I will not see him anymore, but Whiiile told me that since all of us ate his meat, he is still with us. When my hunt comes, he will join me. I was happy when she told me that. I liked it. It made me feel not so alone. See? Okay. And now for a less warm and fuzzy feeling, we have a Delta Zero update. Whatever the hell these guys are doing, they're following. Being super sketchy. We don't know what's going on. Personnel code. Mile, Ambrosia, Hurricane. Director Hussein has been successfully redirected from Caspian Sea site. Delta Zero personnel have supported his decision to focus on Kabul as the primary subject of Project Locust, and project resources are en route now. Oh. Perhaps Delta Zero has been trying to keep Hussein off of whatever they're up to. That would explain why Hussein is weirdly not interested in doing his job with these people most of the time. Well, that and his racism. Anyway, okay. Project personnel have been securing archaeological evidence related to Black Star or Black Moon entities en route. Items of interest are being surveilled by Delta Zero personnel for reacquisition if necessary. This has been referenced a couple times, but we don't know what that means. Black Adatum Initiative is also en route to next location of interest. ETA 8 to 12 days. Oh, I just see that pin. Thanks for pinning that, Cage. Thanks for saying that, Toast. That's very sweet. I'm very glad I can be a comfy place to go to. I'm glad I'm making bad days better. You guys are making moments better too. Okay. I love this, and I will send a cute little frau. But I do feel I ought to keep reading because I'm very curious what the hell they're talking about. I must be honest. I really want to summarize what the hell is going on with Delta Zero. It's been itching at me. I want to know what their mission is. The rest of it, I'm like, we'll get answers in time. But Delta Zero, I'm like, just fucking tell me. Okay, sorry. Tell me what the hell they're about, please. ETA 8 to 12 days, they say. Okay. I'm gonna go now, see you whenever the next stream is. Okay. My brain. It's the power wash on Thursday. And then, if you don't want to join for that silly game times, it would be Folktales on Friday. Yeah. Yeah, brain, is that what we're doing? I think that's what we're doing. Okay. They're gonna be at the next place in 8 to 12 days. Embedded agent reports, they've got double agents, falling out, embedded agent reports falling out between Grand Karsus Dian and Karsus Helena Yeva. Nature and extent of schism unclear. Okay, so they're not getting the best info, but they're getting some info. But individual Sarkites are beginning to register it. Agent also reports general decline in Grand Karsus Ian's mental state as a result of recent revelations. See, I told you, Robot, you're not that aware. Other people will notice it. Did we make a meal that we don't love, Cage? Is that what we done? Find the safe foods and stick to it. Test out a new thing rarely. Follow this and you will not get burned. I'm gonna try to save it tomorrow. Okay. I hope you still feed yourself though. Yes, we're still getting foods. Okay. And the decline in the mental state, and everybody's noticing. Well, no, not everybody, but some people are noticing. Increased surveillance ordered and plan Sheer Glacier pre-cleared in event of catastrophic project failure. Okay, just in case something happens, they have a big plan cleared ahead of time. Xenophon.aic functioning within expected margins. So 052 was the one that insisted we bring in Xenophon. Hussein was the one that said, let's just wrap it up. So I would bet Delta Zero is working from 052's orders. I'm gonna guess. I'm eating mashed potatoes and my body will probably reject due to the amount of dairy that goes into it. I might save that too and find a small nom instead. Aww. I'm sorry to hear her, Gage. I'll be totally honest. In the warm times, I'm just popsicles. Popsicles are my safe food lately. I had turkey sandwich, and I am thoroughly looking forward to a mango popsicle soon. I lactose intolerant ants. You lactose in ants that are taller? There's tall ants that don't have toes? How do they balance? They're tall. They need those toes. I kid. But yes, I did understand that from the dairy inside the potatoes that will be rejected. I got that. I'm sorry to hear it. Sounds like a skill issue, not my problem. No. I hope you have other noms. My theories. I think 052 is in charge of Delta Zero. Hussein is just a racist. And maybe has other things that he's trying to do, but I don't think he's actually good at his job. We're gonna go ahead and say that he's just a shitty guy. But 052 has a plan. I mean, he's the one, or they're the one, we know no pronoun, I think, that was like, you know what? Get a robot in there. And they're like, why in the what? And then Xenophon, functioning within its expected margins, clarifies that Delta Zero's team, they probably are there for the robot. Anyway, I don't know. We just evolved to tolerate dairy. It's a mutation. Well, then I'm a pretty cool mutant. Still a skill issue. The blonde hair, blue eyes is a mutation, and it always drives me nuts. The way blue eye stare is a thing. Where they just actually take in more light, partially because you know how we had said last stream before, being outside in the heat with black clothing in the sun, it's gonna absorb more. So dark eyes will absorb more light, and you might get more sensitive. Whereas lighter colored eyes won't absorb as much, and so they won't be as sensitive to light. So they can straight up just stare at you because of that. Clearly, I don't have super light colored eyes. My eyes are green, but they're kind of dark here. the blue-eyed people with the, or rather like the light gray kind of blue eye. Spoopy, spoopy. Go watch movies. All the people that are the big eyes, most of them are blue-eyed. The people that just don't blink and stuff. Ugh. Okay. Weird mutation moments. Oh no, we got another low look at me. Past Ian, you really should have shut up. And then a little bit below that, we have an addendum, and that's probably going to be spooky as hell. But you know what? After that, then we got a Sarkite dressed as a bunny with a little gopher or a bunny. I can't tell. It's gonna be a time. Okay. Oh, lo, gaze upon me, you noble, you bloodstained. You who have fought and spilt blood on the stones of this nameless city. I see you from this pulpit, vast and assembled. Yep, this is gonna be a big culty thing, isn't it? Truths of Ian, subsection 4. I am not holding out a lot of hope. I see what you have lost in snatching your freedom from the hated foe. The canals still flow with the blood of our victory, but it has come at a cost. Those of you that are wounded, stricken, my Karcist will tend to you, make you whole once more, greater than you were before. Your sacrifices have not been in vain. I see the great and honored dead, stacked high in pyres outside the gates of the city, bodies to be burned as the old masters burned their dead. No, we will not. Oh, this is the day we decide to not burn bodies. This is the day we decide to do genetic memory. Interesting. We will not let those who gave their last measure of devotion become smoke in the sky. There is no great tree for them to return to. There is no God to bow at the feet and be rewarded by. There is only us. We will consume their flesh as I consumed the old beasts, as my clavigars consumed mine, becoming one whole. We will carry them with us, always, their memories in our hearts as their spirits return in our children. I see the great world weariness in your eyes. I wish only that I could reach out and allay it. We have done the unthinkable, freed ourselves from the bondage our mothers and fathers died under, and yet we stand on the cusp of something even greater and more momentous. We spurned the blind faith of the old masters and the Eastern machines. We live for ourselves, our future unbound. For the first time on this world, people are truly free, not just from the bondage of men, but from the machinations of gods. I see the future in the fires below. I see a strong and proud people, children living blessedly ignorant to the unthinkable suffering of their parents. The past offers us nothing but pain. We are not ruled by our past. We are not defined by our past. We leave it behind and march boldly into tomorrow. Look at that spooked little cow. Okay. I see the spreading tendrils of the devourer far below. Many of you have come to me asking if it too is not bound by the old masters as we were bound, if it does not share in our suffering. I come to you having seen it and spoken to it face to face. It is not human. It hungers not for freedom, but for control. To free it is to doom ourselves. It must be held, and I must be the one to do it. I look down and I see my vestments. I did not choose this life for myself. I was born on this path, to be birthed a slave, to stumble across a fell god, to lead you. My say in it is as pointless as commanding the sun not to rise. But it is the duty you have entrusted me with. Yeah, Benji spoons, they're great. Okay, and it is the duty I will fulfill, as faithful to you as you are to me. I see a great city before me, nameless and clean of sin. I do not know what the old masters named it, if indeed they gave it a name at all. But names have power. This city is as free from its past as we are. We will make it in our image, Adatum, the perfect city. The one that exists in our hearts, but this is not Adatum yet. It can only be made so through our own blood and sweat. We must work tirelessly to build this new experiment, for if it fails, if we sink back into the same sins of our captors, let its name be blackened by sin. Ah, and that is why it's called Black Adatum, because they did mess up, and it got doused in the same sin as the last ones. There you go. Well, that's why it's called Black Adatum, blackened by sin. And that was the Truths of Ian, subsection 4, a clear and beautiful example of the moment in between I have an idea and I am corrupted by other things. Here it is. We're about to do this stuff. I'm telling you the lines. This is what we're going to do. Little does they know, they cross the lines. Well, no, well. Alright, we have another addendum. But before I do that, I'm going to take a minute to hydrate. I'm going to give you guys a minute. Do we want to take a break or do we want to keep reading? I will say again that those little cows, when I got gifted the bendy sub, they're so adorable. I enjoyed using them, but I did not use them enough. I feel bad. You know what? I have one gifted sub that I was not expecting. It's Vexing Cats gifted smush. Oh, gifted subs. But there's a smush that I was looking at. This is why I was like, boop. I should use a couple of these. There's some very cute ones. I like this guy. I like that little tail. We're not gonna do that one. There's a cute wiggle. I like these eyebrows. And then the pop, 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 pop. These are all very good. These are all very good. There's some adorable. There's also a good bonk. This kitty is so sad. Look at that comfy. They're so cute. What did you just do, Cage? You just said that you're tied on Bunny and you messed up your food and you do that in bigified. I know that there's monies. Bad, Cage. Save your monies for your foods. Here are your monies. Leftover bits. Okay, it's leftovers, but still. I'm going to be sad with my emotes right now. Yeah. Well, use your cows while you can. Look at these, so cute. Okay, I hydrate. All right. Okay, I will be bugging people more on Discord again soon, but I will stream first. Okay. No one has redeemed anything. I'm going to push along. And I'm very excited to. Nice guy, Wiggle Frog. Hello. I said hello again earlier. I don't know if you heard. Bye. Hello, hello. I like to wiggle you, dancing frog. Okay. We're jumping back in. Winky as I am, because my freaking model. Begin. Log. February 2042. Attached document. The party has made camp for the night. The Sarkic wagons are circled and the Foundation helps loom around the outside. Gunners present in their turrets and keeping watch. We have only just now in this list realized that there's guns on them all the time. Kind of regularly, or not just now, but like last chapter, partway through. Kind of important that they would have said that before, but okay, we're just fine with that. Xenophon.aic makes its way through the camp, weaving around small campfires. The Sarkites are eating, speaking, and a few are listening to music played on hand-strung sitars and drums. They nod respectfully at Xenophon as it passes. Hey, they like him better. Several shift aside to make room around their fires. Oh, they're inviting him in. Xenophon raises a hand in appreciation but continues onward. Around one of the larger campfires, Karsus Yeva is speaking to several Sarkites. She narrows her eyes as Xenophon approaches, halting her speech. Yeva. Machine. Xenophon. Hello, Karsus Yeva. I hope I am not intruding. Her lip curls slightly. Yeva. No more than usual. Xenophon. May I sit? Yeva thinks for a moment, pursing her lips. After a few seconds, she shrugs. If you keep silent. You're making sure you use your bendy. Okay. Xenophon says thank you. Xenophon sits between two Sarkites who shift to make space for it. Yeva looks down at it for a moment before pointedly looking away and continuing. And then Yeva is speaking in the pigeon towards everybody else. You're such silly little guys. Okay. Yeva. And we read from the texts. Iyun saw the strength of the flesh. The power and dominance in the old beast, the flesh that could be used to free ourselves from our bondage. The flesh is perfection in absolution. It needs no supplement as the old master sought or replacement as the Eastern machines searched for. She pauses and yet we see that Iyun saw weakness in the flesh too. Yes, when war came to Adatum, the scarred bodies we wore so proudly, the curse of our freedom, could not make war. Too many of us sick, too many injured, too many bodies made weak by our clinging to the flesh we were given. And here Iyun made a decision. The Adatum's needs overtook those of her people. That some must suffer for others to survive. But how do we reconcile this? That the flesh is perfect, but weak. She shakes her head, hiking up the hem of her dress. The mass of snakes that extends from her left thigh writhes as it supports her weight. In addition, her other leg has similarly been replaced from the knee down with a mass of snakes, because it had been a clubbed foot at one time. So, ooh, okay. Xenophon cocks its head but says nothing, because he knew then there was the one issue and then the other anyway. Go ahead with your jiggling. Go ahead with your jiggling. Okay. Yeva continues now. The flesh is perfect because it is alive. It grows and changes. It evolves and overcomes. Stress makes metal shear and snap, but given time, the flesh will adapt to stress. Strengthened from it, stronger than it would have been. Are we born in weakness? Of course. We see our babes, weak and unable to walk, soft and pathetic and helpless, but they grow hard and strong and hardy with time, do they not? Before I continue Yeva's preaching, I want to hi, Majestic Hippo. I'm wishing you a lovely evening too. Yes, hello, welcome in. Long story, but I'm just gonna push through. Okay. Yeva, she reaches down to her leg. The head of one of her snakes darts out, angling for her finger before she pulls away. Wild. Like if Medusa's snakes attacked her when she tried to do her hair. Okay. No, you will not get either, Lahonk. You do not get to eat frogs. You know what I say to this? You know what I say to this? You have been bonk. No bonk. Yes, bonk. We were just talking about how I need to use my emotes. Ooh, fire frog. Okay, focus. Yeva's preaching. Everybody listen. Dang it. Okay. Yeva. And so why rob ourselves of the chance to rid ourselves of the last limitations of our flesh? Iyun saw it, and so we survived the wars, while all others were obliterated. The past holds the answers for us, friends. Xenophon then says, are they limitations, Karsus? Yeva tenses up, turning her gaze to Xenophon. She purses her lips, letting her dress drop back down. I think this was a poor choice, sir. I don't think you should have interrupted. Oh boy. Xenophon continues, you said flesh's strength was in its evolutionary nature. It adapts. Yeva, tersely, yes. Xenophon, I'm afraid I don't fully understand why you feel such things are limitations. Are they not products of your adaptations? Okay, lurk away. Oh, those are so cute. Okay. Thank you for Jessica. Whoa. Okay. I don't fully understand why you feel such things are limitations. Are they not products of your adaptations? The other Sarkites shift uncomfortably around the fire. And then Eva, you do not understand because you have never inhabited flesh. You are not a person, you are a thing. You take solace in your limitation. Xenophon, I'm sorry? Eva, you are made as you always will be. You will not grow past what you were made for. You cannot conceive of desire or wishing for something you cannot have. Xenophon is silent. Eva is staring at him, breathing heavily as she speaks. I was born crippled. I worked twice as hard to crawl, 4 times as hard to learn to walk. I grew up seeing my fellows run, play, dance, all while I could only sit in her lap. I promise you, machine, the flesh can be a prison. But we reach into the past and draw out truths for our futures. She pats her leg again. The snaky stuff, you know? Xenophon, I'm sorry to hear that, Karcist, but I felt you were referring to more than physical disabilities. She shrugs. Humanity extends beyond the flesh. Our attitude is limited too. We must conquer it. We lay back and accept that we will grow old and die. Why? Xenophon. Many people believe it is an inherent part of life. Eva, is despondency part of joy? Xenophon thinks for a moment, firelight dancing across its shell. I think they give each other meaning. One needs to know unhappiness to value happiness. Eva, aha, the limitations of humanity are present even in your false soul. It is a desperate rationalization made by peoples not as fortunate as we, those who lack the tools to forge their own flesh. But we are not them. We can be greater. We can overcome. Ian now interrupts, if we wish to. Xenophon and the Sarkites turn. Eva looks up. Grand Karcist Ian stands several meters away, having silently approached. She is staring at Eva, whose face tenses. Many of the Sarkites are staring at them now. Oh boy, Karcist fight. Eva, Grand Karcist? Ian, Eva? You are so adamant we must leave these things behind. Eva, they limit us. Ian, is the bird limited by its wings? It cannot grasp nuts, cannot hold a sword. Eva, I know, but... Ian interrupts and continues. The wings make the bird what it is, Eva. Our limitations define us. We can try to burn the sky, or we can embrace living underneath it. Eva, the wings offer the bird something in return. What does this weakness bring us? The softness, the death. Ian, gently. Death is an opportunity, Eva. To live a life knowing it will reach an end, knowing your loved ones will consume you, carry you with them. Let your spirit be reborn in a new body. The knowledge that you have loved your parents 1,000 lifetimes over and will love them 1,000 more. To reach out to someone and know that your time is limited and you want to spend it with them. She pauses. But then, an opportunity not all of us have. Silence. But then, abruptly, Eva bows her head slightly and turns on her heel, departing for her tent. Ian watches her go, a strange look on her face. She whispers something, and the Sarkites begin to disperse. So it's looking like what Eva is upset about is not... Oh, you went back on everything you said. Oh, you did that. Oh, the things you did are bad. It's literally just, why do I have to be weak? Why do I have to die? Oh boy. Eva's just jealous of Ian. That's what all this is. I thought she was righteously angry at how she was a hypocrite. Nope. It's just, you're getting more powerful and Why didn't you fix my legs sooner? And why does anybody have to die? My god. Oh my god. Okay. Xenophon says, Grand Carcist? Ian. Yes. Xenophon. Are you alright? She turns to Xenophon. No. Please leave me alone. She turns, heading towards her own tent. Xenophon watches her go. After several seconds, it follows towards the tent, ducking into it. The fire is burning low in front of it. Yun is kneeling, face in her hands. She looks up at the sound of Xenophon's entry. She has been crying. She hurriedly wipes her cheeks on the sleeves of her robes. Ian, I asked you to leave. Xenophon, I felt compelled to ignore that order. Ian, I did not think you could ignore an order. Xenophon, neither did I. This is about to turn into... Considering the robot tried to, like, pat her or something, like, he tried to lift his hand and do something. He was like, I get the feeling that he was trying to, like, pat her on the back or try to give her a hug or something, and he said, oh, I should not do that. I think they're like about to become family in some way or another. Xenophon is going to betray the people that sent him here. He's going to want to help them more, or this was all for that and he's just being tempted to help her more than he was programmed to. But I don't... They're definitely... You guys are getting too close. You're going to give her a hug. You're going to be closer. You're ignoring orders. This is not what you should do, robot. You are a robot. Okay. Did not think you could ignore an order, Xenophon. Neither did I. She laughs, hiccuping slightly, as Xenophon kneels by the fire beside her. And then Ian says, I have failed. Xenophon, we have discussed this concern. I do not... Ian interrupts. No, Yeva. I have failed her. Xenophon, I was listening to her sermon. I felt you taught her the doctrine well. That's not what she meant. That's not what she meant, robot. Ian, she knows our prayers, our sermons, our texts by heart. She's more familiar with my words than even I am sometimes. I taught her all of that ever since she was a girl. She could not play with the other children, so I sat her on my lap under the shade of the trees and taught her everything I knew. The flesh, holy death, why we consume so we can be reborn. She would curl up into my lap, play with the ends of my hair while I read from memory to her. Xenophon, she sounds like she was a sweet child. Ian smiles through her drying tears. She is. My heart sang when I saw her leading her first prayer, singing and swaying just the way I taught her. I taught her so much, my little legacy. Her smile drops. And yet it feels as though she understood none of it. She sees the words and the message. I do not know how she can stand up and preach now that our humanity is something to be overcome, something that weighs us down. Xenophon, you did too. And this is true. At one point during the I'm doing the bad stuff part, clearly, Ian was preaching, we all need to be divine and fight and not care about this. We have to suffer so that we survive. And this was almost certainly the same chapter of Ian's life where was raising zombie army. So, not great. Not great. But anyway, there's silence and then Ian says, yes, I did. Xenophon, I think she is looking to the past for answers. Ian, why? Have I not been her anchor? Why does she feel the need to turn to fractured memories from my past? Xenophon, because they offer something you do not. Ian, what? Or what? Either way, what? Xenophon, may I take a guess? Ian, please. Xenophon. Reassurance. Direction. You called her your legacy, but she will never get a chance to lead your people. You have trained her excellently for a role that she will never be called on for. Ian, I did not choose to live this way. Xenophon. Neither did she, Grand Karcist. She does not know what her purpose is. The memories speak to her. They reassure her her place is to dominate, to control. She flocks to the easy answers, as humans often do. Ian snort laughs. Unlike you. Xenophon pauses. I am not without flaw, Grand Karcist. Ian. Oh? Xenophon. I am curious. Ian. Curiosity is a virtue, not a flaw. Xenophon. It is when paired with the inability to indulge your curiosity. I am programmed to want to learn everything about you and your people I can, but I am not a person. I will never have a complete understanding of why you appreciate music, what food tastes like, what makes you chase after Eva's approval. Ian stares in confusion. Yes, you are. Xenophon says, I don't understand. Ian, you are a person, no? Xenophon, no, I am an artificial intelligence construct. Digital thoughts racing across a silicon mind the size of your fingernail. Ian, you are not human. She pats the chassis of Xenophon's shell. Ian, made of metal rather than flesh, but you think same as me. You feel same as me. Xenophon, no, I do not. Yes, you do. Just less. Ian, then why follow me into my tent after I order you not to? Xenophon, big dot dot dot. Oh, I do not know. Small rage puff. Come on, Xenophon. Ian, the horse I ride is a person to me. The cows we milk and the falcons we keep are people to me. I know their oddities and enjoyments and dislikes. They are no more human than you, but they are my people, my Nalka. You are too. I knew you were going to be considered family. Look at that. Okay, Xenophon does not speak. And then does speak. Still, I will never understand why you do some things. Ian, such as? Xenophon, what drives you to eat your people, for one? Ian, I love them. Xenophon, all cultures experience love. Few engage in cannibalism. Ian, they do not experience this love. It is the way we are. When I love, it is all-consuming. I want them to feel me, to taste me, and in turn, I hunger for them, to understand them wholly, to become one with them, to feel their flesh as they feel mine. What greater show of love than to desire every piece of their essence? Xenophon, to understand them wholly, yes. Ian, it is a rich experience. Here. She presses a hand against Xenophon's shell over the chest. Here grows warm, heavy, hungry, like it could burst from your chest at any moment. Run free from the weight of your body. It flow up through your head into your eyes. She rests 2 fingers on Xenophon's ocular receptor. Ian, everything fades, and you can only see them. They become momentarily the whole of your world. You exist only in relation to them. They bring you closer to the divine. She brings her hand down again to Xenophon's quote-unquote stomach. It's got the little quotes. You know in the deepest part of you that if you were freed from your flesh, your souls would intertwine. But bound as you are, all you can do is hunger to have them totally in every way, to give yourself up for them, even as they do the same for you. Xenophon says, it sounds unstoppable. Ian, yes. Xenophon, have you experienced it? Ian, yes, with Lovjatar. the last of my clavigars, the closest of them. We march toward his grave now. Xenophon, I see. Ian stares into the fire again, orange dancing in her dark eyes. I am afraid, Xenophon. Xenophon, of what? Ian, of what he will say. His love has been replaced by disgust, just as with the others. Hey, no. Kadok? Yes, that was the first one's name, probably. Didn't hate you. Still liked you. Anyway. Disgust at me for failing. Disgust at how I have changed. And hey, even the last one wasn't disgust with you. It was just like really weary and sad and yeah. But not disgust with you. Not angry with you. Disgust at how I have changed. That I will find myself sitting alone before the horrible truth. Yeva has always been with me, but now... Xenophon, I do not know Lovjatar, and so I cannot speak to that. Xenophon raises its hand and places it gently on Ian's shoulder. She turns in surprise. But you will not be alone, Xenophon says. I knew he was gonna be all comforting. She cocks her head for a second before smiling slightly. Thank you. And lock. So they definitely got all touchy that time, and that's interesting. They're definitely making big strides, those two. Their relationship, however you want to categorize that. But now we have another interview, and this one looks adorable, okay? Okay, so there's a still from Xenophon.aic's camera feed. We're in the dark, like it's nighttime, but there's a big light shining. And we've got a man here with a very, very thin mustache, but a big smile, rosy cheeks. And he's in all gray, top and pants and black boots, but also a funky little bunny hat. He's got bunny ears, little bunny eyes that has a little bunny nose, and then like a ball cap front. And this is so cute. We've got the vision of Xenophon's where he's got the lime green rectangles, and the biggest lime green rectangle is of this guy's frame because he's like on the ground but his knees slightly spread apart. He is the widest and tallest in the rectangle, especially with his bunny ears. And it says Mokwal, or Moqowl. Mokwal, I don't know. And Buddy looks so happy. He's got his groundhog that he's clearly hunted. There's like red on the groundhog's little face. Either it's eating bunny or berries or meat or something. More likely we've killed the groundhog. We've hunted the groundhog, but we're holding it. And then on Mock's face here, there's a little lime green square, and it says pride. Xenophon is registering his pride. Xenophon has gone from they've just Sarkite. Every one of them is called Sarkite. To we got names, and we're registering their happiness, their pride. It is so cute. It's so cute. Okay. Question. What does being Sarkic mean to you? Number 171, Macau, 43, musician. You would be a magician with your bunny hat. He works the knife under the pelt of his kill, a groundhog. It was a kill. Okay. Careful not to make excessive cuts or waste the meat. He butchers the animal. My drum is made from skin. I do not know whose skin. It was my grandfather's drum and his grandfather's before him, so I do not even know how old it is. The skin is tanned and taut. Now and again it rips. So I go out, as I do now, kill something, and turn its skin to leather to repair my drum. With a smile, he raises the pelt of the groundhog freed from the flesh. Then I sit in the shade of a tree and I sew it back together. Then it joins me for the singing of the next night. That is what being Sarkic is to me. You must join us one of these nights, you will see. And he's being invited to the music night. Oh, this is so cute. The robot's getting invited. Okay. Then we have on March 13th, the Black Adytum Initiative arrived at the site marked by Grand Karcist Ian. And we have another map. We are at BAI-4, the Vault of Lovjatar. Looks like we're on the edge of a lake, according to the big map. Or very close to a lake. From the ossuary, we went a tiny bit south, very west. We followed a river a lot of the way, including we went around that bend. So we went up, down, but always going east. And then we went a good deal up at the very end. Like I said, we were following a river for the most part. Then we had to bop out while we went around that lake. And now we're at the other end of the lake. At number 4. That was the Path of the Black Adytum Initiative I read. Alright. We have this addendum. A couple of excerpts from recording stuffs. And a longer back and forth between the bubbles, red and blue/green. So something's about to happen. I'm telling you, something's about to happen. Bye! Okay, very important we do our... You know what I'm doing. Our shout out for Vi. And I have messed it up a few times. Am I supposed to do this? That's freaking it. Okay, whoa. I'm not shouting out a channel that doesn't exist. Why is this being so mean? That's the way I do it. That's the way I do it. Okay, there you go. I figured out this last one. I just woke up and I still feel like butt. When will the madness end? When you stop judging yourself for feeling like butt and you're just like, I feel like ass. Moving on. Cool, I continue in this state of existence. How awful. That tends to be how it is with me. It's like as soon as I accept something and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's how it is. I'll just adjust my life to be that. And then as soon as I have a plan, now you aren't. Of course now I'm not. Just when I make a freaking plan. Can't do anything right. Hi, Vi. Yes, everybody. Vi is not feeling so good. So everybody should give Vi a bunch of love and follow. If you like this little living room, if you like 3DO, if you like the smoke screen transition, you know, like this. All of this is Vi stuff. I'm just Apothecary sitting. Hi, Vi. She does not normally have the trigger warning. We had to make that one ourselves. So yeah, we are reading a very spooky SCP with a bunch of stuff going on. I don't know how much you heard. I don't know how much you understand of what we're reading. It's very intense. But it's also very cute. Very little doses. You're tired of laying here, yes. Yeah, I imagine so. I'm sorry. Hugs? Your kitty was being cute earlier, but then she was done with my shit and didn't want to be here for stream. Was like, no, I don't want to listen to your spooky stories. Very fair, lady. Very fair. She doesn't put up with it. Yeah, I don't know how to warn you, so you get to just, like, maybe experience the insanity. We're gonna jump into the next addendum. You're gonna be probably spooked. Or icked out. Or you'll just run with it. I don't know. Okay. If everyone has followed Vi, I'm gonna move along. Attached document, March of 2042. We begin the log. The party has stopped on a wide, grassy plain. A calm, glassy blue lake sits to the north. Okay, that... Do the addendums know what the map is doing? Because that's not true. It should sit to the south. From where they put the number 4. It should sit to the south. I don't know. Okay. There is a building sitting near the shore side overlooking the waters. It is stark white, with large pillars supporting an overhead dome. Ooh. The only sound is that of the waves lightly lapping at the shore. Ian says, "Ah, Zhang. At least this time there's no question of where it is." Xenophon, "This building does not exist on any maps or satellite imagery of this location." Ian, "It will not." Zhang, "How do you know?" Ian begins walking forward through the sand of the beach, the hem of her robe trailing behind her. "Because I built this place." Lizan, Zhang, and Xenophon follow behind her. Eva trails them quietly several feet away. Ian, "It was hidden from others, but he wanted me to find it again. To find him again." They approach the steps of the building. It sits close enough to the water that a few centimeters pull at the base of the white steps. "He always loved the sea." She ascends the steps. From this close, it is clear they are mottled white with an imperfect surface. Zhang, "This whole building is hewn out of bone." Xenophon, "Not a building, a mausoleum." "It is both. A mausoleum is a build." Oh my gosh, okay. Xenophon follows alongside Ian as she reaches the top. The doors are sealed, fused together into one solid mass with no visible seam. They are completely blank. Ian, "But I carved these. I spent days carving my memories into them. Our memories." Xenophon, "The sea would have eroded them away." Ian, "Oh. Yes." She reaches out and presses 2 fingers against the surface. It splits down the middle instantly, crumbling into pieces and the pieces into dust. The inside is dark. Xenophon moves to enter before Eva, moving remarkably quickly, blocks it. Okay, so Eva is not having this. We're not going. No. Eva, "Stop. I will not let this abomination again access this place before we do. I trust you no more than you trust me, machine." So Eva's against Xenophon going in, but Xenophon says, cocks his head, and then he says, "I do trust you, Karsus Eva." Eva blinks. "What?" Xenophon, "You are talented, intelligent, and have proven yourself a capable shepherd of your people. I trust you. Please go ahead." Eva blinks a few more times, then hurriedly turns and enters the interior of the mausoleum. Inside, alongside Ian, Xenophon, and Zhang entering after. Oh, alongside Ian, Xenophon and Zhang entering after. There is a slight splash. Zhang, "I just stepped in water. Is this place flooded?" Xenophon activates its lamps. "Why do you not do this at the start? You are such a drama queen, you little brat." He's done this before, where he's like, "We'll walk into the dark," and then people are like, "I can't see," and that's when he turns on the lamps. It's like, dude, you can see that ahead of you is dark. Freaking turn on your light. Jesus. Okay. He tried to say, "I don't have feelings. I'm just a robot. I can't fail." Buddy. Okay, but he activates its lamp, bathing the interior in light. The interior of the vault, a space a few meters across, is sunken a few centimeters. They are standing in a shallow pool of blood. Well, no, duh. It's a mausoleum of bone that the cannibals are all running to go break into. Of course it's going to be blood. The hem of Ian and Eva's robes float atop it. They do not react. Zhang, Ever the professional. Every time. Oh, Jesus! Xenophon. There is no body. Squarely in the center of the space, there is a small reliquary, a pedestal on top of which rests a softly glowing human heart. It pulses slowly, covered by a glass. Ian approaches it, smiling. Okay, so there's no body, but the heart is still there. The bone is on the outside. The blood fills the floor. Interesting. If there's no body, where are we going to fall into to access the memories of the city? Whose carcass are we going to fall inside of that we do every time? You've broken our pattern. Ian, hello again, my love. She lifts the glass top and gently picks up the heart, as though afraid of breaking it. She lifts it to her lips, then hesitates. She casts a look over to Eva, who is watching coolly. Ian. Eva? Ian. Here. Ian reaches out, offering her the first bite. Eva's eyes widen and she gingerly takes it, staring at it in her hands. Eva, but... Ian, do it. Because not only is this, like, one of the ceremonies that we do, it's like... This is Ian's closest person. Lovjatar was the closest person to Ian. This is... Are you kidding? Really? Okay. Eva hesitates, then nods. She lifts it to her lips and bites into it, tearing off a chunk of muscle and swallowing it. A small gasp is escaping her lips. She looks back up to Ian, who nods. Greedily, she tears into it, devouring piece after piece until there is only one small chunk left. She offers it to Ian, who drops it down her throat. Zhang, wait. If there isn't a body, then... Sorry. Sorry, Zhang. I think you're stuck joining us again. You don't get to try and escape don't fall into the body. Oops. He went once, and then he has not gone back since. He has avoided joining them on that part of the story. Now, because he's in the mausoleum, you're coming along. Oh boy. Wait, if there's no body... Suddenly, the entire group drops into the pool of blood, as though the floor abruptly disappeared. Xenophon's cameras are disabled. When they reactivate, the four of them are standing on the beach, now bereft of any mausoleum. It is twilight. The sun is dropping below the horizon of the water and turning the sky orange. There is a young man sitting cross-legged on the beach, watching the water. Ian approaches him. Ian, my love. He rises from where he is sitting, turning to face Ian. He is a handsome youth, sharp features and olive skin matched with dark eyes. Rich, complex tattoos creep out from under the collar and sleeves of his robes. Before he can speak, Ian interrupts him. Please, before you speak, before you release your anger, before you tell me what I deserve to be told. Honey, he never... One of your people was mad at you. One of them. The others were not mad at you. Okay, before you tell me what I deserve to be told, I understand my mistakes. I have seen what I became. I could live 10 lives and not atone. Please, I am sorry. Silence for a moment. Then, Lovjatar steps forward and embraces Ian, tightly wrapping his arms around her. You could not anger me if you tried, little thing. He releases her, smiling and kissing her forehead. There are no words for how much I have missed you. Ian, what? He squints, brushing her hair back and smiling. You look different now, brighter, but still the one I love. Ian, you're not angry? Lovjatar shakes his head. No. You made a mistake. We all do. I was angry. We all were. But I knew that wasn't you. I knew you would come back eventually. I have waited for a long time. My anger faded. He grasps her hand, intertwining it with his. He presses it against his cheek, feeling her skin. My love did not. Oh, my anger faded. Grabs hand. My love did not. I knew you would return. I knew you would. Ian, why do I remember this place? Lovjatar, because you have been here before, in another life. We were escaping Adatum's destruction, bathed in soot, charred and blackened by flames, but the traitor was pursuing us, dogged armies chasing us across the plateau. Zhang, whispering, the Black Star. Lovjatar, they would chase us, kill us, end the dream we conceived together, slaughter the children we raised together, unless someone stayed behind to pull our pursuers away. Nadok was necessary. Uruk was necessary. Sa'arn was necessary. Ian, but you were not. He smiles sadly. And so I sit here and wait to be killed. That's really it. At that moment, a steady rumbling begins to fill the air, growing louder and closer, increasing to deafening volume. The ground shakes with thousands of footfalls as monstrous entities rush the beach. They superficially resemble humans, but misshapen, distended, and with yellowing skin and milky white eyes sloughing off their bodies. They rapidly encircle the group. Lovjatar rises slowly to his feet, brushing the sand off his robes. And now, my time approaches. Xenophon and Zhang stare intently at the entities encircling them. Zhang, I've seen these things before. One of the locust dig sites, maybe? Okay, so that's why they've managed to keep Director Hussein over at a different locust site, is because they're kind of overlapping. It relates eventually, but okay. Xenophon says, Grand Karsus. Ian interrupts. You are leaving? Clearly not paying attention to Xenophon, but her love, of course. Lovjatar, I bound myself here, trapped in this memory, knowing what my fate would be. I lingered well beyond my time. What? I lingered well beyond my time because I wanted to lay eyes on you one last time. To know that you were not the same as I left you. But you know how this ended. Ian, no, I do not. My memory, it was gone, Lovjatar. I spoke to the others, tracked down their resting places, spoke to them to recover my mind, assured them I would bury them in Adatum. I spoke to Uruk. I realized what I'd done. She reaches out and grips his shoulder with white knuckles and wide eyes. Her lip trembles. I succumbed to the Devourer's temptations, whispered promises of power. Become its champion. Let the traitor with his black moon burn Adatum to the ground while we fled. Lovjatar freezes, then slowly turns back to Iyun. He has a strange, confused look on his face. No, little thing. Ian, what? Lovjatar, that is not what happened. Ian, what? Lovjatar is silent. Ian steps forward, caressing his cheek. Ian, show me, my love. Lovjatar, you remember now. Seeing it again will only hurt you more. She takes a shaky, rattling breath. I need to see. I need to know. Lovjatar is silent for a moment before stepping forward, pressing his forehead to Ian's and holding it there for a moment. The scene shifts. Now they are in a long, dark, underground corridor. The walls look hand-hewn from dark stone, and in thousands of little alcoves, skulls and bones are neatly stacked. Sconces packed with fat burn slowly, casting a sickly pale glow over the corridor. Zhang, where are we? Iyun, the city. Xenophon, Adytum. Ian, listen. Distantly, a deep, bone-shaking thrumming can be heard, interspersed with human conversation. Suddenly, from behind, a copy of Lovjatar appears, several years younger, but the same person. He is dressed in hooded hide robes decorated with beads and bone-carved charms, and he is making his way through the corridor towards the noises, clearly ill at ease. The older Lovjatar with the group speaks as they follow him. I had noticed it from the beginning. How could I not? You retreated from Nadok, from Uruk, from Sa'arn, and eventually from me. All your time spent in the underbelly of Adytum, communing with gods, peering into fire for answers that wouldn't come. At the beginning, I could descend in and fetch you, bring you back to the light, but that was the start. Soon, Adytum had grown beyond the walls of the city. We became a fledgling nation, and each of us had our own duties. I had to shepherd the Karcist as your absences stretched from days to weeks to months. But when the months threatened to become years, he shakes his head. I hate this place. Horrible things happened in those crypts, but I descended to bring you out. Yeva, she had to do this duty. The beast had to be kept away. Lovjatar gives her a lopsided smile. Yes, that is what you told us, Ian. The group draws closer to the noises as the tunnel tightens to a space barely wide and tall enough for Xenophon to stand in. And the memory of Lovjatar says, Ian? The strange thrumming and beating continues unabated. And the memory of a memory of Lovjatar, said Ian, but only just a memory of Lovjatar, says the next line. This is kind of the younger memory, the older memory. Okay. The older memory, Lovjatar says, there is a wretched, quiet desperation in these tunnels. Do you feel it now, as I felt it then? Xenophon says yes. You can feel? You admit it, robot. You admitted it. Okay. Yeva and Zhang look at Xenophon in surprise. Xenophon says, like an animal in a cage. Lovjatar's eyes narrow as he embraces Xenophon's shell for the first time. This is the first one of the memories that actually looked at Xenophon. Lovjatar, the older memory, being suspicious, says, what are you? There's a pause, and Xenophon says, I do not know. Oh! Ian says he is mine. Okay. I knew you were a robot lover. I could feel it. Lovjatar nods and turns back to the scene. The memory has moved forward to Lovjatar standing before a great set of stone doors. They are infinitely detailed, inscribed with all sorts of calligraphy and complex scenes etched into... You don't say those words in front of me and Vi. Okay. The doors are very complex. All sorts of calligraphy and scenes. Complex scenes etched into the dark stone. Lovjatar, older memory, says, whenever I came to fetch you, I would find you here performing your work, sealed in this great stone vault, locked away with such a dangerous font of power, sealed away from those who you loved. I always felt bad. I wished the door to open so that I could aid you in your struggles, ease some of the burden from the shoulders I loved so, but it was always sealed. The door hangs slightly ajar. A pool of blood leaks out of the gap. Save for once. The Lovjatar in the memory does a double take, then quietly approaches the doorway. The thrumming and whispering are now almost clearly audible as he peers inside. Lovjatar, see what I saw. Inside is a high chamber, almost entirely dark save for a single well-maintained fire in the center of the floor. The cracked and carbonized remains of bone litter the base of the fire, and the sweet-smelling smoke hangs in the air. The walls of the chamber are flesh-like tendrils, wrapping over and over onto themselves until they form a solid pink pulsating mass. All across the quote-unquote walls, Knives are stabbed into the flesh. Blood flowing freely from the wounds and collecting in channels cut into the floor, flowing down to the fire. Somewhere a great occluded heart beats, and fresh blood pours from 100 wounds. The thrumming repeats, and it is now clearly a howl of pain from something far older than the city it is buried underneath. The old beast, Yaldabaoth, the mangled god, speaks in gasps and whispers. On, Toast, I hope you can fall asleep soon. The old beast, all caps, please, please, please. I will not scream, but I imagine it is screaming. Voice, quiet, beast. A figure strides into view, exiting the shadows of the corners. He is dressed in the same etched and decorated hide robes as Lovjatar, albeit even more grand and ornate. This is definitely going to end up being Ian, because back then Ian was his and he pronouns. Even without the distinctive ritual tattoos peeking out from his collar and sleeves and the faded scar across his face, his sharp features and gray eyes immediately betray his identity. Eva, is that Ian? Me. Before. She steps forward in a haze, reaching out for, but not quite touching, her own face. Jiang shakes his head. Then what? The old beast, yelling again. Please, Liberator, free it. The memory of Ian snarls. Old Ian, younger Ian, past Ian. I said silence. Beast, screaming, you Liberator, freer of the builder's slaves, free it. The memory of Ian stalks over to a mostly free section of wall, drawing a knife. Beast, leave! It leaves! Go home! See its brothers, see its sisters! Please let it leave! Ian current, Ian softly. Oh. Ian memory, no, not while you are needed. The old beast, why? It hurts, you hurt it, like the builders hurt it, please! The memory of Ian pauses for a second and presses the knife into the flesh, cutting into it. The room howls in pain again, shaking the bones of all those assembled. Memory of Ian. The hour approaches. Your flesh is needed now more than ever. The old beast, you took so much. He shakes his head. Sweat drips from his brow. Not enough. Old beast, it gives. Free it, and it gives flesh as much as you need. Memory of Ian. You would kill me where I stand if I freed you. It is all you know. He lets go of the knife, stepping back to shout at the beast as a whole. Ian memory. It is your nature. You are a god. Power is your birthright. You have never had to claw it from a dying grip. You dominate and you destroy. The room trembles in protest, and the beast screams, no, no, it was enslaved just as you were. It can feel you. We have both known bondage under the whip of the builders. It was all you do. Freedom. The light, it burns. Just a little bit. Okay. Ian pauses his work with the knife for a moment. The beast continues screaming, it helps you. It hates the builders too. It is weak now. But it knows things. It helps you. Your people heals you. Its brothers and sisters are gone. The mechanism, the scarlet, the black moon. It has nothing left for it at home. It has no home. Ian does not speak. The beast eagerly pushes forward, walls pulsating. Keep screaming. It could aid you. It feels you build something grand above it, something new. It tires of the struggles of the divine. It could be a part of your new path, part of your Nalka. Yeah, that's how the channel name works. Maybe I ought to tag some of my videos with Obsidian Space Reads so that they both pop up. Maybe that's a good point. Anyway, okay. Old beast. Yeah. I'd have to, like, tag those things in it. I don't know. Alright. I did a bit of it. It could aid you. Be part of your Nulka. Yun snarls and drives the knife deep into the flesh, eliciting another howl. And the memory of Yun says, you are nothing like us. You have no soul. You are fell god. Trapped here only by the grace of fate. You are no more worthy to join this project than you are to... He takes a shaking breath, calming himself. When he speaks again, it is calm, controlled, and hard-edged. The parable of the scorpion and the frog. Both creatures sit at the bank of a flooding river, sure to drown. The scorpion asks the frog to carry him across. The frog hesitates, but his new friend explains if he was to sting the frog while they crossed together, they would surely die. The frog agrees to this and allows the scorpion to clamber onto his back. When they are halfway across the river, the scorpion reaches down and stings the frog. Soon, they are both drowning. The frog asks why the scorpion chose to doom them both. He has no answer. It is my nature. The old beast's voice trembles in pain, and then he screams again. Nature is not set. Nature grows and changes with the flesh. Memory of Ian. For people. Not for things like you. You are created with intention, with purpose. You cannot grow beyond it any more than the scorpion can choose not to sting. Old beast. It has never hurt you. Memory of Ian. You are a threat by your very design. Wow, the way you're speaking, old Ian, sounds a lot like you'd hate Xenophon, but current you kinda loves him. Okay. The old beast. Then kill it, free it from this tomb city, let its soul cross into whatever lies beyond. Ian reaches forward, prying loose the head-sized chunk of flesh he has cut away. It is pink, raw, dripping with blood, and loose arteries and veins hang freely from it. The gaping wound in the wall pours with blood and fluid. Ian memory says, not while I still need you. Your power. Ian raises the meat to his lips, biting into it with sharpened teeth. The blood gushes over his lips and spills down his chin, staining his robes. He chews, leaning his head back and letting out a soft moan. Oh my goodness. Ian memory says, I see tomorrow. Old beast. This is not how it showed you. The flesh is not for taking. It is for giving. Ian memory. I stand on the cusp of greatness, of immortality, leading my people as a prophet for all time, making sure I will always be there to guide them. Old beast. What are you willing to take to see this dream made manifest? Memory of Ian. Everything. The beast is silent for some time. When it speaks again, the voice is faint and weak. Oh, but it's still all caps. Whisper scream? I don't know. You changed. When you uncovered it, you were clear-eyed and true, a liberator, a believer. Ian memory. I was weak, and then I ruled by the weakness of my humanity. And soon I will excise it. I will see it in my future, with every bite of your flesh. I can feel my power grow. Already I can raise holocausts from the dead. I will conquer holy death. He leans his head back and steps back, panting, blood dripping from his mouth and staining his hands. I will become eternal. Oh boy. A small soft thump as the memory of Lovjatar drops the torch they were holding. While peering through the door, Ian spins around, finding only the empty doorway. Lovjatar has quickly dodged to the side, nestling into an alcove filled with bones. Wide-eyed as Ian approaches, he peers around, finding no one. Eventually, he retreats back into the chamber, sealing the huge stone doors shut again. After a few minutes, Lovjatar rises to his feet, quickly moving back up the chamber the way he came. Toss the old sidelong glance back at the chamber doors as he runs away, the group watching. And now the Lovjatar that's talking with us says, softly, I ran. I am ashamed, but I ran. I was terrified. I knew you had grown troubled, but this was so much farther than I knew. You always told us that the old beast was a hateful monster, kept at bay only by your work. I knew what I saw in the crypts. I did not see a fell god. I saw a trapped, suffering animal, mangled in its god trap. Eva steps forward, raising an accusing finger at Lovjatar. Oh my gosh. This lady is gonna scream at history. Oh my god. Eva says, she was not wholly truthful then. She made a mistake, all of us do. Her mind was warped. Ian quietly says, no, it was not. What? Eva says, what? We agreed there. Hello, my ghost psycho. Welcome in. Thank you for the existential snake raid. Welcome in. Hello, everybody. Come on in, come on in. Come get cozy. We are reading some spooky things, and we are nearing the end, but it is not the end for a little while, at least. Oh my god. Go in. Alright, if you need to go look after yourself, my ghost psycho, please go get out of here. Feed yourself, rest yourself, get out. Everybody please check out my ghost psycho. Give a follow. I love when we get our little existential snake raids. Hello. We are very deep into a very spooky, twisted story. I'm not gonna try and summarize it. You're just gonna have to be ready to listen. With the trigger warnings that we have, though. With that in mind. Ian was not out of her mind. Eva says, what? Ian says, look. Eva turns and looks at the hard eyes of the memory of Ian. They are gray, crystal clear, and shrewd. Xenophon follows behind her. Well, you've got a little bit of time. Eva says, oh, these are... Xenophon, those are your eyes, Grand Karcist. Ian softly says, yes. Zhang, what? We knew this. She was manipulated, taken over. Xenophon, no. No, her eyes are clear. I recognize them. It is her. Nothing was possessing or controlling her. Zhang, so she did all this? Ian, myself. The old beast wasn't a devourer. I was. I am. Oh. The old beast has a few names, but the devourer is not one of them. Wow. We were watching tons of spooky stuff, so the moon matches perfect. Oh, lovely. And thank you for the hydrate. I am hydrating now, Arctic. Okay. Hold on. Okay. A good cough. We have reached this breakthrough of I am the devourer, but we still have other stuff to go through. There's still a chunk of this. Yeah, there's still, oh gosh, there's still a lot of this back and forth. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Lovjatar says, I told the other Clavigars. We had been growing worried. Sermons of rejecting humanity in favor of the divine, becoming our own gods. But this, you were trying to extricate your own humanity from yourself. You were planning the ritual. If you cut it out and killed this part of your soul, there would be nothing left of our Ian. The Ian who saved us, cradled us in his lap, fed us his flesh. I am back, PC crashed. Oh, sorry, Vet. Welcome back. I hope you fixed that. Believe me, I know the feeling. Our Cozy Grove stream had, like, crashed. I don't know if you were there. It's a quick crash and back. Pissing me off. Okay, Lovjatar says, this stuff, we were gonna lose you. He pauses and his voice cracks. Oh, he crying. Lovjatar, the Ian I loved. We could not allow it to happen. I could not allow my little thing to destroy themselves. Xenophon, you intervened? Lovjatar, we met and we schemed. We gathered our loyalists as the ritual drew close, meeting away from the prying eyes of our Karsists, our children. And on the anointed night, when the funeral fires burned low and the bodies were dumped in the catacombs for you, Nadok captured your attention, Ian. Why was there funeral fires? Why was there funeral fires? We weren't supposed to do that. Flintdot. The necromorphs from Dead Space may have been the result of an emergent planet-sized consciousness that tried to become immortal by invading other conscious beings. Interesting. I don't know that. I don't know Dead Space. Sorry. I don't know things. I know very few things about things. Oh shoot, I do know that an ad's gonna force itself to start and I'm out of snoozes. Well, I have one snooze, but it's not enough to get through this, so we're gonna just say Lovjatar is crying and we should take a break with a quick 30-second ad. Oh, that was your night. Oh, okay. Oh. Well, if I knew what you were talking about, it would have been cool. Okay, ad, I'm sorry, I have to give you a 30-second ad. Oh, it's starting on its own. That means we got like a minute. Hydrate yourselves, please. Arctic says hydration. I'm hydrating. So they made a whole conspiracy, huh? Who is the traitor then? They always talk about the traitor did this, but I'm glad we're getting a summary, but what is chapter 5 then? Jeez. All these things going on. Ad is still not started. When Twitch lets the ad start on their time, it's always so weird. It doesn't go immediate. The stream is going pretty well. Oh, now the ad go. Oh my gosh. Annoying. So annoying. Alright. Alright. Okay. Wait, is it big? No. Okay. So Lovjatar was saying, well, actually, we made a plan. We wanted to stop you. When you were trying to burn bodies, which is not what you're supposed to do in this group anyway, Nadok captured your attention. The scene shifts to the exterior of Adatum. The group on a high temple balcony, overlooking several streets in the night. As they watch, a hooded figure slips out of one of the entrances into the catacombs, carrying something in their arms wrapped in cloth. The hood slips, revealing Lovjatar's worried face for a moment, cast in the torchlight. I slipped your severed humanity away before you could take the knife to it. As they watch, Lovjatar slips under the shadow of the walls of Adatum, vanishing in the darkness. Shifting to the wall, a small party is visible in the distance, covered wagons and horses, and hundreds of small figures massing in near-perfect darkness. Slowly, they begin to move. Lovjatar, and we ran. Xenophon turns, looking back into Adatum. The dead of the Holocaust stalk the streets, rotting, hulking beasts stomping down the avenues in tune with the drum beats, an omnipresent, haunting singing. The only lights in the city come from Eon's central temple. Xenophon says, you are not running from the Black Star's destruction of Adatum. Lovjatar, no. The scene shifts again back to... Okay, perfect. Eat well, take care, Toast. Enjoy the humming videos. I'm glad you were enjoying them. Thank you for the cute emotes. Okay. Scene is shifting. Helka is stomping. Helka surrounds the group, grunting and screeching mindlessly. They're back at the clearing on the beach. I missed that part, sorry. Suddenly, there is a commotion at the far end of the gap, and the crowd parts. A figure approaches on a dark horse, its 4 eyes gouged out. The memory of a Yun sits atop the stallion, dressed in hide robes with a carved bone armor loosely draped on top of them. His eyes are sharp, angry, but clear and gray. The memory of Yun says, Lovjatar? I'm guessing this is also the memory of Lovjatar that responds, but says, My love, what have you done? Memory of Ian, all that had to be done. And you reward my struggle like this? Stealing from me? Betraying me? Lovjatar, no, little thing, you betrayed us. Ian is the traitor. Oh. Okay, he shakes his head. Do not call me that. And I have betrayed nothing. Adatum was my dream. I saw fit to realize it the only way we could. Lovjatar, you poor thing, you do not realize what you have wrought. Adatum is gone. You have blackened it in sin. Our paradise was built from misery. Our prosperity was cut from the flesh of a suffering animal, and you lied to us. His face falls. You lied to me, Ian. Memory of Ian says it was for your own good. Lovjatar's fists tighten. You made me a promise in that quarry that our path would be decided by us together. You saw what the old masters did to me. You did not want to control me as they did. That is why I loved you. Memory, Yun. Enough. Where is it? Lovjatar, gone. Nadok and the others have taken to the wind with it. I loved you because you were human, little thing. You were perfect in your imperfections. I will not let you kill that part of you. Ian's lip curls. And memory of Ian, at least. Do not call me that. I always knew Nadok, and you were jealous. Little thing, I guess, is what we're mad at being called. Jealous of my station, my power, my adoration. I see your game. You seek to undermine my authority. You seek to rule in my stead. Lovjatar, you have lost your mind, Ian. I have never wanted anything more than to be by your side. The Sarkites were running with Nadok, with Uruk, with Sa'arn, to get away from Ian, and Ian tracked them down. Oh my god. I will find them, Lovjatar. I will bring you all back to Adatum. This project is too great to be felled by weak-willed deserters. The ritual must be completed. Your only hope now is to tell me where they have gone, to spare yourself and them undue suffering. Lovjatar, how can you justify this? You made so many promises to us, to all the Nalka, a new way of life not built off domination and slavery, and then you grow our empire. Grow your own power. Raven. From a suffering animal. Ian, memory, says it is a god, Lovjatar. It is not human. I said, oh, you lurk it. I'm so tapped that we have a lot of drama. I'm just reading. Oh my gosh. It's a god. It's not human. Lovjatar. And so, it thinks, it speaks, it feels, it wants freedom just as we wanted ours. Locked in chains and huddling under Uruk for warmth when the cold rains began. You have become what we all reviled, what you fought against. Devourer, Yaldabaoth. Memory of a Yun. I am nothing like the old masters. I built Adatum into something great. Lovjatar, Adatum is more than a city. It is an idea. You told us that. Perfection, equity, all men, brothers. Adatum will not happen when you carve flesh from an unwilling cow to support your own power. Nadok, Sa'arn, they will make their Adatum. Somewhere else, somewhere new. You will return to Black Adatum surrounded by a reminder of your failure. Oh my gosh, this is... I'm losing my mind. I will get to that singing frog in a minute. Thank you for the shout out send for Hyacinth. Yes, please, people, check out Hyacinth. Go give a follow if you haven't already. This is a great person to follow. Please, 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 please. Ah, it's the goose. It is. But we ignore. We read. I'm a little bit freaking out. Okay. You're going to be reminded by your failure. Memory of a Yun. I tire of this. Tell me where they are. He unhooks his bone-carved dagger from his belt as he dismounts. What do you mean they? I thought we were just looking for your soul that you were wanting to kill. Are you looking to kill the peoples too? Oh my god. Lovjatar says, I knew you better than anyone. I knew just how... Oh, he unhooks a bone-carved dagger from his belt as he dismounts, right? And then he gets out. I knew just how terrified of failure you were. Of the Nauka failing once you died. What drove you here? I do not fault you. I just wish you had let me help you. That you had let me in. Ian, in memory. This is your last chance, Lovjatar. Lovjatar says, but despite it all, I still love you. Humanity cannot be excised so simply. Sooner or later, the parts of you I loved will return, and you will realize what you have done. And you will cross the earth to make amends. I look forward to that. And that's the Ian that we see. Oh my gosh. Ian, in memory, says, take him. Two beasts of the Holocaust move forward, grasping either of Lovjatar's arms. Lovjatar, I will be waiting for you, little thing. Memory of Ian, snarling, says, I told you not to call me that. In a rage, Ian lunges forward, driving the bone knife directly into Lovjatar's stomach. He doubles over, gagging and coughing up blood. The memory of Ian pants heavily for a few seconds before his features soften. And then he's like, oh no. And then our current Ian, she's yelling, Lovjatar. I don't know which one of the Ians do this, but Ian presses both hands to Lovjatar's waist. Nothing happens. He continues hacking up blood as he collapses to the ground. Ian's eyes widen in panic as he kneels, cradling Lovjatar's head. The real Ian rushes from the other side, cradling the other side of his head. Okay, so the current Ian, not the memory Ian, is the one that rushes from the other side. The memory Ian was already pressing both hands to his waist. Ian memory says, What is this? Lovjatar! Lovjatar weakly says, I am sorry I provoked you. It isn't your fault, little thing. Ian continues pressing both hands to Lovjatar's chest, gritting his teeth. Ian in the memory says, Why can I not heal you? Blood leaks from Lovjatar's mouth as his eyelids flutter. You cut that part out of you. That power is with the seed now. Ian's memory says, No, this... There must be... No, please. And real Ian says, Don't leave me, Lovjatar. I cannot be alone. Okay, so that whole time that I was like, is it memory of Lovjatar or current Lovjatar? The whole time it was current Lovjatar because we had caught up to where his memory is. This is the current memory. This is it. Okay. So that was the Lovjatar we came to see, and we are seeing them die. Oh boy. Current Ian, she says, Don't leave me, Lovjatar. I cannot be alone. Lovjatar weakly says, You will never be alone. I will always be with you, little thing. Perhaps in a different shape, perhaps in a different form, but I love you too much to ever leave you. The memory of Ian stares down at Lovjatar's dying face with wide, dead eyes. The real Ian's eyes start to well with tears as racking sobs overtake her. The memory of Ian says, I'm sorry. Current Ian says, I did not mean for this to happen. I was scared. Lovjatar says, Scared of what? Ian, that I would fail, that you would not love me if I decided I wanted something besides the purpose allotted to me, a leader, a prophet. So I decided to fulfill it as best I could, no matter the cost. I did not want to disappoint you. Lovjatar, I have known you as a slave, a prophet, a king, a monster. I'm trying to speak softly. Stop making jingles. I have never stopped loving you. I cannot stop loving you any more than I can stop breathing air. He coughs again, spraying blood across both Ian's faces. The gray eyes of the memory are now welling with tears. Memory says, God, what have I done? Lovjatar, you made a mistake, but we all make mistakes. He sucks in a wheezing breath, and then, do you remember what we planned for when we left Adatum behind? Both Ians say yes. Lovjatar says, we never did get to. Current Ian, no. Lovjatar, listen to me, little thing. Leave my body here by the sea. Leave it and go. If you love me, return to Adatum. Let Nadok and the others go. And when your mind returns to you, I know you will come back. And then you can eat my flesh, and we can be together again. Memory of Ian says yes. Yes, of course. Lovjatar says, and? He reaches up, grasping the back of the real Ian's hair and pulling their heads close together. He whispers something in her ear too quietly to make out. Ian lowers her head and kisses Lovjatar's cheek. Ian says, are you scared? Lovjatar, no. But you must not fear death. Ian, why? Lovjatar, because you must die if you wish to be reborn, little thing. He smiles for the final time. His eyelids flutter shut and his muscles go limp as the last breath exits his body. The howling animalistic scream of pain that both Ians release simultaneously carries on, washing over the group until the vision falls apart. When Xenophon's cameras reactivate, they are again in the pool of blood inside the vault. Now, however, panels in the dome have given away, letting rays of bright sunlight into the once dark vault. Ian is kneeling before the altar as Xenophon approaches, planting a hand on her shoulder. Xenophon, Ian, how do you feel? She looks up, tears drying on gently smiling cheeks. Like myself again. End log. Something that makes me really sad about that, though, is that Ian gave the heart to Yeva to have the first bite. Do we still have a heart for her to eat? I know this is really weird to be sad about, because we don't think that that is a very good thing, but in their culture, this is a very significant thing, and that was one of the things that Lovjatar said that we would do. So, where is that? Did they get to be together again in their way? Where's my cry? I don't even know where my cry is. If I hit the wrong button, it'll look dumb. I think it's here. Nope. Well, I mean a little bit. The mascara's running. Maybe it's this one. That's it. Alright. Okay. Record of Ian. Another one of those quotes. As I hydrate, and we all should hydrate. And in the last days of the Nauka, the streets of Black Adatum were gripped with a great and terrible fear. Ian's most loyal witches, the 4 Clavigars, met by the light of the candle in a crypt far from the prying eyes of the Witch King's marching holocaust. And there they spoke of failure, of madness. The knowledgeable Nadok, keeper of histories, urged the others that the Witch King's sin was unforgivable, that he must be cut away from Adytum. The strong Uruk, tall as 10 men, agreed. The scaled Sa'arn, silent as a snake, agreed. But it was the beautiful Lovjatar, striking as the sun, who argued. Nadok, remember your blindness. Uruk, remember your pain. Sa'arn, remember your cruelty. Remember as I remember my abuse in that blessed quarry. It was not our fellow slaves who elevated us, freed us from our flesh. It was our brother, and for this he deserves death? And the Clavigars were silenced. For it was true. The Witch King had fed them his holy flesh and crafted them from their forms. But even despite this, Lovjatar knew that his beloved, untethered from his humanity, would bring the end of the Nalka. Nadok, ever incising, demanded an alternative, and Lovjatar offered. Let us take our believers and leave. Walk away from this place and its sins and the bodies buried beneath it. Ian, my love, has turned this grave into a city and back once more. But his heart still endures. One day his mind will return to him, and we will return to this city of our birth and embrace him. Final chapter of the record of Ian. But that is not the last record we're reading. Remember, we kept track of scribbles in bones. We had letters written in leg bones, arm bones. Well, we've got the other humerus, or maybe it's more of the same humerus, scapula and ulna. Lateral humerus, scapula, and ulna of an adult human male. What are these notes? We're gonna find out. Previously, I was quite certain it was gonna be the lover of, lover of a yun that was writing them, and I do think that's exactly what this is. So I think that this next one is still written by Lovjatar. The days before the ritual were like a weight had come to rest on the city. The eating of the flesh, already at a low, ceased entirely. You gave the order for all dead, whether from battle or sickness or time, to be carted down to the catacombs where you now resided. No one was to enter, not your most loyal Karsists, not Nadok, not even I. All through the day and night, the quakes grew in intensity, rattling the stones of our buildings and sending the animals into a frenzy. One morning I awoke to the unmistakable stench of blood. I ventured out from my chambers, coming to one of the wells in the street that funneled air down to the catacombs below. The scent of blood, thick and rich and heavy, wafted from the hole. You were bleeding the bodies. I understood. We worked quickly and discreetly, sneaking supplies out from storehouses and hiding them in the farms outside the city walls. I spoke to those Karsists, the children we raised together, who were still loyal to me. The other Clavigars did the same. We prepared our escape even as Adytum grew quiet, and then the anointed night came. I knew it somehow. I passed Nadok in the street and gave him the sign. He nodded imperceptibly and went off to make the final arrangements. I knew what my task would be. Come nightfall, I slipped into the catacombs. I had the best memory of their layout. Invaluable after, in your paranoia, you ordered all maps to be destroyed. I trekked through the tunnels, hiding in alcoves and vaults stacked with the bones of old friends. The floor was pooled with an inch of blood, and I tread quietly until I arrived at that vault. The door was sealed, and I heard you inside, exchanging sharp words, orders. Meek, desperate pleas from the old beast. Screaming, howling, praying from you to something I could not grasp, gasping and then crying. The crying of a baby. And then enraged, shouting as you were called away by one of my Karsists, telling you Nadok required your presence urgently. I waited for your footsteps to fade. and then I slipped through those stone doors. If the beast noticed me, it said nothing. Ooh. The blood was thick here, pooling into the channels of the floor, flowing down to an altar that held a child, a baby swathed in clothes. A girl, to my surprise. You. You opened your eyes, and I saw the crisp gray I had come to love and then to fear. The same scar across your face, and a bone-hilt knife resting on the altar next to you. You gripped my finger and burbled with laughter at my face. I could not remember the last time I had heard you laugh. I gathered you in my arms and ran, shushing you every time you cried as we slipped out of the catacombs, out of Adytum. Okay, so that humanity stolen, the way that they did that, separated the humanity from the main Ian, became a little baby girl, and that is the baby that has grown up. That is the Ian we met that has lived so long because of the way this ritual went. Wow, okay. And yes, Lahonk, you are a good goose, but you are good in sense of, like, do it well. You are still a little bit evil. Also good, but, like, also evil. That is bonk side. That is chaos. That is goose. Gritty goose. Okay, last paragraph. I write this now sitting on the beach, waiting for you to find me and end me. Nadak knows to return and fetch my bones. He will bring them with you as you escape to somewhere free. This is a record of our history together. Once, many years ago in a quarry, you gave me the greatest gift you could muster, freedom from my past. Stealing you away, I give you the same gift now. Your future is porcelain bones, clean, unwritten. What happened to the first Ian, though? What happened to evil Ian? Oh, no. Are we gonna meet evil Ian? Is good Ian gonna meet evil Ian? How is this gonna go? I'm nervous. I'm scared, guys. There's just a little tiny bit left now. Red, Xenophon, says some things. And then we've got Green, who we still haven't pinned down. But more and more, this has gotta be one of the O5s. Hussein doesn't give a fuck. He's not gonna be in charge of this. Zhang, not high enough. Nope. People that were there would have remembered. I don't know why Xenophon doesn't remember. And then, yeah, O5-2 is up to something. But I think it's gonna be another O5. Okay. Xenophon, Red Bubble, says, she didn't deserve this. Green, thoughts of deserving now? Red, she was forced into impossible circumstances and led her people the best she could. She grew to fit her container. Humans are good at that. One would think you would deserve some solace after all that. Green, we don't get what we deserve. We get what we get. Red, that hardly seems fair. Green, yeah, it isn't. Red, who are you? Why are you so interested in this file? Good question, Xenophon. Why didn't you ask sooner? Okay, Green, I wish I could tell you. We just have to finish up here, and then I promise I'll explain everything. But then there's another. I'm just going to have to ask you to trust me for a little bit longer. Red, irrational trust in absence of assurance. Green, yeah. Red, okay, I trust you. My God. Green, you're starting to remember now, right? Red, yes. Red, the memories are returning. Red, there are so many of them. Green, trying to erase the past rarely works. Woo! Okay, that's the end of chapter 4. Chapter 5. Chapter 5 looks plenty meaty. Oh boy. I don't know what all is here. I'm very curious. And there's a link at the end of it. And the link leads to something just as freaking long. Oh, I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh, I'm gonna lose my mind. We are at least 2 streams from ending this, is what I feel like. Oh my gosh. You don't cheat. I thought there was 5 chapters. There's freaking 6, technically. There's an epilogue. And the epilogue's plenty meaty. That's not fair. You cheated. Oh my god. That's a lot. Okay, the last one is the Tomb of the Witch King. So this must be where we do see the death of the first Ian. The evil Ian. If so, what the hell is the rest of this? But with that, I'm gonna do a singing frog real quick, because that was a redeem. And then we're probably gonna raid out just after. Yeah. We're gonna have to go. I actually feel like we should maybe just go without this. I never got my whispers from last stream. Okay, with that, I definitely will. Skip your singing frog. I'll refund you your points, but you don't get it. Can I kalimba? Fine, okay, we'll do singing frog and kalimba. You shouldn't get your singing frog, you shitty little goose. You mean little goose. Okay. We'll do a kalimba after singing frog, but you still gotta redeem it. Oh boy. This story is wild. Oh, why are you moving? Why are you moving? Come here. There we go. Current trigger. Not quite how that's supposed to go, Raven. Okay. Ding. Frog. It's time for Herbert. Guess what, chicken butt? Come here, Herbert. Oh, you're so far. You're sitting up there. Okay, come here. Ooh, okay. We'll do kalimba right after this, and then we'll be reading out. So, Fedster, if you have a suggestion, I would take it. Thick slide. I want to see that in big mode. Why can I not see it bigger? Okay. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so then we better not take too long, lest they end their stream. Here is Herbert. There is Herbert. And I guess we better hurry. We got someone to catch for it. Quickly get the kalimba out the box. Now I've got time, no worries. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do a few kalimbas. No, we cannot. Arctic, you asked ahead of time and I said yes. That would be mean of me. Where's the other? Oh, it got put inside. Okay. I thought I lost my paper. I did not lose my paper. Come on. Okay. I do have a piece of cheese, but I'm not gonna give it to you, you meanie. I'll give it to Fett for the rats. No, that rat needs their cheese. Rat toss. I should give it to rats. Why rats need some rats? I got a cup of milk. Would that work? Arctic. You sure you want to give to Lahonk? Lahonk, do you want the milk? Got cookies? Oh, do you got cookies? I will share cookies. If we share, we can have a little cookies and milk. One cookie left. Oh, are you gonna share cookies? I hope you guys are being good. Oh, and I'll get you too. Okay, I'm gonna play a song. Here we go. Mm-mm. Woo, 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 woo. I did it. Jiggling along, are you? Oh, the jiggling's not popping up as an emote, but if you're just jiggling anyway. Hell yeah. Another one. I had to finish the song before I could respond, okay? But thank you, Fatboy Blazing! Everybody, where is your freaking raining money frogs? Or little credit card emotes? Or cage monies? Whatever you can. There you go, Fat. Thank you. Thank you. Money frogs. I appreciate it very much. Welcome in. You do not have to pay for the stuff. I am behind on my VODs. I was in mid cookie bite. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you have excuse. You have been excused. It's okay, Arctic. I have a plan to make sure all of my VODs go up ASAP because the Cozy Grove stream one got hiccuped. That one might be a second, and then this one, and I had stuff, but the first one I had to sort out was the first version of this SCP was the one that crashed. The first crash was that, and then there was a Cozy Grove that also crashed a bunch. But thankfully, Cage, thank you, Cage, helped us sew it back together. It's cobbled together. I'll make sure things are posted. But because of the things being ridiculous, I took my time. I'm gonna make sure they all go up ASAP. Just when I think that I'm like gonna have enough time to do stuff, 5 more things got thrown at me. So I'm gonna try and do all this stuff. We have the power washing on Thursday. At this rate, I might need to skip the folktale stream on Friday. I don't want to, but I might need to. So I'm telling you that now because even as we streamed, I got like a couple of dings. They were very quiet. I got a couple things and I was like, oh, another thing? Are you kidding? Another thing? Are you kidding? So it will be a bit of a chaos. You see, tuning forks, you know what's kind of crazy? When I said, okay, we can do kalimba, when we had the singing frog, I was like, you know what? You know what? We should have 3. That's what I was going to ask. I was like, I should ask for 2 more. Tuning forks is the 3rd. There you go. No more redeems. We did our kalimba. We have tuning forks. But I'm going to come back around to kalimba because I want to send you guys off with the sleepy song since we're so close. So I'm just going to do tuning forks for a very quick. There we go. Might be at an interview for the Power Wash stream. But you're going to be at an interview. I hope it go well. The VOD will be up later, Arctic. Don't even worry about it. You kill your interview instead. Don't kill your interviewer. Don't do that. That's a very bad idea. Oh boy, Blaze, don't you do it. Don't you dare. But since you mentioned the Power Watch as well, let's scroll. Look at the cage monies. Look at they're so cute. Okay. You take care of that. Have a good time. I wonder what the dear lady is saying. Shut up, honk. You little liar. I know I'm not muted. I know y'all can hear me. I can see the little bounce. I can hear it in my headphones. Meh, 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 meh. Don't try gaslight me, goose. Okay. Tuning forks. EP song to shut you guys up. We need to raid out. Please tell me, Fett, if we are about to lose our people. You said we have time. So I think we have time for a minute of tuning forks. Quick. Just straight. Shut up, Log. I say that all the time, Fanboy Blazer. What are you talking about? Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Admit it, we all love LaHonk. As much as we hate him, we love LaHonk. And by hate him, I mean hate his violence, and only the violence. The rest we love. We still love LaHonk. Just admit it, everybody. Even the robot knows that you guys love LaHonk. As much as he is a pest. And yes, the blep was to laugh at LaHonk being pouty. Okay. Good night song. Time for good night song. And the reason I didn't change the current trigger to tuning forks, we're just gonna let that be incorrect right now. We say goodnight with the lullaby. Here we go. It just let me play this. Ah, okay. glass was kind of loud. I just felt like it. Okay. The go to bed song. Go to bed. Look at that rainbow Pikachu. Whoa. Okay. I took away my papers. I will prep the ending screen. We need our raid messages. We got somebody that apparently Fett has been waiting for us to raid to for ages. How can we not celebrate this raid? Oh, Dahlia ASMR. Well, let's prepare ourselves. Oh, you got raid 1. I got raid 2. Oh, wait. I was about to say rad 2. Never mind. You got it. You got it. It was for the best that I had that typo. Okay. Copy your raid messages. I will swap over to end screen. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you Myco Psycho for raid in. Thank you for other drop-ins like Vi and Hyacinth. Let's get ready for Ooh Dolly. Enjoy my stay today. We appreciate you so much. Excited. Okay, Viva la Frog. Viva la Frog. Do I need to make a little frog that holds like the French flag for a revolution frog? Do we need to do that? Oh. Okay, here we go. Let's look for Oh Dahlia. Oh Dahlia. There you are. It's almost been an hour. They never stream that long, so I'm glad we're getting started. Hey, I see a Fetster and a Crummy. Crummy Water's in here. Okay, everybody, you got your raid messages ready? Let's say hi to new person. I'm gonna be following you first, right off the bat, cause Fate says so. Here we go. I'm very excited. New person. All right, everybody, take care of yourselves. Get snacks. Get rest. Stay hydrated. Eat well, whatever time zone, happy time zone. Let's make sure we move our bodies to stretch. No blood clots. I'm gonna be getting up and running around after kitties for a minute after this. Okay, let's go, everybody. Let's read. Whoosh, whoosh,